Yo, what's up guys, Rasmus over here. So this is the training I've been doing. This is just one part of the training that I have been doing. So right now, I'm pretty much going to be doing Nordics every day for the next couple of days or 30 days or 1 month, and see how it goes on my knees, see how it goes on my running, see how it goes on my technique and overall. I probably will incorporate some other exercises as well, just in kind of like a fashion way. I just do it in like a block. In this case, I'm just doing like 3x4s of the Nordics, try to get better at them. So each clip is pretty much the next day. So I've done, this is the first week by the way, so this just goes through every day of the first week. Some days I don't have time to get to a gym, so I kind of have to improvise in a way. Pretty much that was the case today, which is not the day that is on here, but yeah, it's a day that I had to improvise in a way. Other days I had to use different equipment. One way of doing it that I like at the moment is using the calf raise machine. As you can see, it's pretty good, and one thing I have noticed is that different methods do kind of affect the way that you perform the Nordic. In terms of this machine, where you can apply full pressure on the actual machine itself, where your heels of your foot are constantly pushing on the machine, you can kind of control yourself better. In cases where you had to use like a barbell, it's a little bit tricky because you don't have that initial kind of hold where you get that isometric contraction, as in, or it's an eccentric movement, but as in like you're applying force at point zero. With a barbell it's a little bit harder, so with different kind of setups it changes a little bit. Nevertheless, it is still the same. In some setups you can go lower, other setups you really can't. Some setups kind of do hurt in terms of the barbell, and that kind of, it's a tricky setup to do. That's all I gotta say. But with these, the whole thing is I'm just trying to see what happens really in terms of my running. I have noticed that when I do run these days, I've been doing this pretty consistently, being incorporated into most of my training, but this is the first time I'm doing like every day. One thing I have noticed is in my running that my legs don't get as tired as much as I feel like they don't get as tired as normal, but I feel like my upper body is what's dragging me down in a way. It's a weird kind of sensation that I have noticed. It's hard to put it, but I think incorporating a few other exercises will kind of balance out this exercise in particular. It is a very good exercise in that it's allowing me to generate a lot more force in my hamstring, but I feel like there has to be a few other things that you have to add to kind of balance things out, kind of stabilize the whole lower chain in a way. One thing I think is to get some more quad dominant movements, or even just VMO movements. These are like, the VMOs are pretty much like the little kind of teardrop muscle that's like in front of your legs. It's one thing that's very neglected, and you do notice it when you're doing knee rehab, anything like that. It's one of the things that physios will tell you to try to exercise as much as possible. You can use like reverse Nordics, which I'm thinking of using, even just like a leg extension. They really hit it. Thing is that you have to be at like the full kind of extension phase of your lift to actually see that benefit. That's to say your legs have to be fully extended, so it's like the last 5 degrees of your leg extension is where they really activate. But yeah, you do see it when you're doing leg extensions. Also, if you're using like weightlifting shoes, I know that that's something that does help that muscle grow in a way, just because of the way the angle of your foot is at. Getting onto your heels and doing like sissy squats or not getting off your heels into like 60 squats is something that also is prone to made to, I guess, activate it. Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of exercises that you can do to help with that muscle. And I think with that and the Nordics, you'll notice that your knees are like amazing. Yeah, as I've said before, like the knees, it's a game changer. I've been playing a lot of volleyball, and I feel that without doing this exercise, I'll be struggling in terms of the amount of jumping you do, amount of running. It's a struggle. And one thing I've noticed is that when I've been using the setup that has been in the previous clips, the one that uses the calf machine, the one that when you're starting to use the glute ham developer, it feels a lot easier. Granted that this is it's pretty much designed to make this whole movement a lot easier in a way, and you kind of notice that when you're going from like using the one in this clip right here, like this setup right here, I feel like I get more of a development. And when I go back to the glute ham developer, it feels a lot easier on that as compared to do it on this. In the future, I'm thinking of getting extra weight, like ideally, if I can get like a 5 kilo weight and hold it and try to go down with it. I think I might start that in like the 3rd week. I'm in the 2nd week, this is the 1st week. It just clips here and there, seeing how I go. But generally, I feel like this has been an amazing thing for me. There are things that I think I should be incorporating, as I said. Probably more running as well would be good, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Actually, one thing that I do think that will benefit in terms of running is just like your hip extension exercises, or hip flexor exercises, sorry. These are like just in like knee lifts and things like that, or knee raises, and just trying to work on those adductors to help a lot. This I think is seen with the knees of toes guys. If you've heard of that guy, he's this guy. He's got a YouTube channel. He promotes all these kind of exercises, and these exercises are, I wouldn't say they're new. In terms of if you're a track athlete, I'm fairly sure a lot of track athletes would have done this. A lot of jumpers would have done this. I see a lot of hip extension, like those knee raises. That a lot of pretty much that's standard in most track and field workouts. Definitely, the Nordics are probably a standard as well. As I've said in previous videos, some people say it's a net bad, some people say it's net good. Like right now, I'm thinking it's a net positive. I know that some people have had issues where they've been doing it and they got injured, but I'm thinking it might be a different case where that caused that injury. But yeah, in general, I've known about Nordics a long time, since I've pretty much started sprinting. It's one of the exercises that you learn early on, and it is something that's very hard. That's why I don't think a lot of people do it on the basis that how would I put it, that you would they just don't do it in a way that it kind of shows out in a way. So it's something that you do it once in a while, not like consistently. But yeah, in terms of running motions, it's one of the closest things that you can get to, or mimicking that running motion. And this is one of the things that I kind of like to emphasize, is that when you're in the gym, you want to try to mimic things that are close to your running motions. This is it's a better movement as compared to the hamstring curls, because when you're running, you're not really doing a curl with your hamstrings. It's not knee flexion that you're doing when you're running. It's a hip extension that you do when you're running, and that's the key difference that people don't see. Anyway, this is pretty much almost it for the video. This is pretty much the first week doing Nordics every day. Not sure if I should call it doing Nordics every day or just knee rehab every day, because it pretty much seems like this is just knee rehab, and it is pretty amazing. Or even like knee protection every day, or jump protection. Anyway, there's so much ideas that I think I can call it, but anyway, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.